The power tournament ended with the victory of the Universe 7. Likewise, Grand Priest and Zeno-Sama made the delivery of the Dragon Super Spheres to fulfill his wish at 17, which only smiled and mentioned that he wanted all the eliminated universes to be restored again. Zeno-Sama and Grand Priest, surprised by the request, mentioned that if he was sure of that, Number 17 agreed and mentioned that they would fulfill his wish. Grand Priest replied the words to the dragon, which fulfilled the wish. However, the great power of this wish crossed the known limits, and something more happened. 6 old universes that Zeno-Sama had eradicated eons ago resurfaced from the shadows, brought back by the power of the dragon spheres. But with them, something more awoke, something that lay asleep among the ruins of time, a being whose existence had been carefully sealed by the previous king of all, frightened even by Grand Priest. In the shadows and far from everything, that entity opened his eyes for the first time in silence. This being was in the depths of the unknown space. A great purple glow emerged from the cracks of space-time, expanding through all that unknown darkness. The silence of the space was broken by a great cry that had not resonated in 1,000 years. The creature emerged from his energy prison, making the whole space collapse. What happened? It seems that I have returned. But why? Well, what else? If fate gives me this new opportunity, then I will recover what is mine by right. But I must keep a low profile. I don't want Ender and everyone to realize that I have awakened again. I still haven't been able to restore all my power, so I'll wait for a better time to attack. Time passed. Likewise, everything seemed to be at peace. All the universes lived in harmony, and what was the fear of being eliminated remained in the past. Goku and Vegeta were celebrating with the Z-Warriors for the victory of number 17. Likewise, Biggs and Whis are somewhere away from the party, talking in a worried way. Biggs, eating, mentions to Whis, "What's going on with you? I've been seeing you with that long face for a while. Stop partying and have fun for a while. After all, we won the tournament, and our universe will not be eliminated." Whis would be mentioned in a serious way. "I understand, Mr. Biggs. The truth, I would like to enjoy the victory with everyone, but there is something that does not leave me calm. I have a strange feeling as if we were forgetting something important, but I do not know what it is." Biggs quickly says, "Come on, Whis, whatever it is, surely it is not important. If you care so much, the fool of Freezer, then we can give him a visit and put a stop if that's what bothers you." Whis quickly says, "That's not it, Mr. Biggs. Freezer does not worry me. It is a feeling that I do not even know what it is. I could not help feeling that way since the victory of our universe." Biggs quickly says, "Surely you're just exaggerating. Relax and get a little distracted. If it helps you, then we could ask the Oracle Fish if he has a premonition or something for us." Whis tries to calm, and after a few minutes, they join the party. While the celebration continued, no one expected what was about to happen. Thousands of light years away, Freezer is sailing on his ship. This one, with a laugh, mentions, "I am surprised that you have been so stupid as to revive me again. Did you think I would become good after helping you in the power tournament? In the same way, it does not matter. It is better to go to my next destination. I have many planets to conquer." Freezer's smile quickly disappears. He seems to have heard something. Looking around, he sees that he is alone in the control room. What could that have been? I wonder if maybe it was just my imagination. Likewise, Freezer looks more upset again. His body is flooded with such a cold, which he had never felt before. But what the hell is this feeling?
It is even worse than when I saw the damned Goku become a Super Saiyan for the first time. Everything around Freezer begins to flood with shadows, which leave everything completely dark. Freezer is looking to the sides with the guard up, mentioning to himself that what is happening. After that, Freezer hears a voice. Who would have thought it? It surprises me that someone from the species of the cold demons still live. Well, in other universes, there are also many candidates. But I see that you are different from the others. Freezer, quite nervous, mentions, "Who the hell are you? Show yourself, because I cannot see you. What did you do to me?" The mysterious voice simply laughs, himself mentioning, "You have no reason to be scared. I will not leave you anything unless you decide to obey my orders. So listen carefully." The mysterious being begins to explain to Freezer the plan he has in mind, likewise mentioning that he still does not have enough power to be able to fulfill his task. So what he needs will be that he look for sagas and begin to create chaos in the universes. Freezer, something serious, mentions that for what reason he would have to do it. The mysterious being only laughs and mentions that he has no alternative. Likewise, that if he decides to disobey, he will end up dead. Freezer, despite the feeling of danger that he feels, he does not care and only makes fun of the mysterious being, mentioning in a mocking way, "If you think that I will be your assistant just because you threaten me, you should not have a brain. As you mentioned, I am from the family of the demons of the cold, in a unique species. You have just achieved anything. I will not lower myself to be anyone's assistant." Just at the end of talking, Freezer only manages to feel how his arms are cut off from his body. Likewise, a huge pressure crushes his whole body, breaking all and each of his bones. This screams in pain, begging him to stop. The mysterious being stops the attack, likewise regenerating Freezer in seconds, which, quite nervous, mentions that what the hell is supposed to be you? Worse than that life. So if you want to continue with it, do what I tell you, understand? Freezer scolds teeth, mentions that he will do what they tell him. Likewise, the mysterious being mentions that for the moment, he needs the greatest number of sagas he can gather to start with a great chaos in the 12 universes governed by Zeno-Sama. Freezer, despite being angry, accepts. Likewise, the mysterious being laughs again, while the screams of pain of Freezer are heard, which little by little is changing appearance. Freezer's body seems to deform and inflate more and more. The screams of agony do not seem to have an end. Even Freezer himself thinks they are going to kill him. But at the same time, you can notice how Freezer's form gradually returns to normal. While all this happens in the temple of Zeno-Sama, he is playing quietly with some toys I leave Goku. He would happily mention, "It's fun to play with all these gifts I leave Goku. Although, the truth, I wish he were here with me so we could play together. Tell me, Daishinkan, do you want to play with me?" Daishinkan does not answer. He just stares into nothing.
Zeno-Sama, a little worried, mentions, "What is happening to you, Daishinkan? Lately I have seen you very serious. I hardly see you smile. Tell me, are you very bored? Would you like to see another tournament to see how Goku and his friends win? I bet that would have a lot of fun." Saying Zeno-Sama, quite happy, but Daishinkan quickly looks at Zeno-Sama. This smile apologizes and mentions, "Do not worry about my Zeno-Sama. I'm fine. The only problem is that I feel that something is forgotten, something quite important. Also, I feel a strange anxiety since that day that I finished the power tournament." Zeno-Sama, smiling, mentions, "Well, I guess it must be because we meet mortals, which do not think in a selfish way. Or maybe, for seeing the incredible power of Goku, that
Despite being immortal, I managed to reach the gods. Daishin Khan sighs and mentions, "No, Zeno-Sama, I'm afraid that's not what you say. But in the same way, do not worry. I'll take care of inquiring a little and see what is escaping us." Zeno-Sama mentions to Daishin Khan not to worry too much, since everything is fine. But Daishin Khan still feels a little restless, so he decides to review the spheres of the universes. But this realizes that everything is still the same as before, so he quickly mentions, "Well, it seems that in the universes there have been no changes, although it is better to review in a deeper way, simply to be sure." Meanwhile, in Universe 6, Potus was attending Champa, but this looked the same way, quite worried. Thing that Champa did not like at all. "Hey, you, would you like to stop being distracted and focus more on attending me? You have been the same for days. At this rate, you will end up killing me of hunger." Potus something nervous mentions, "Oh, excuse me, Mr. Champa. The truth, I'm not distracted on purpose. If not, rather, I cannot get rid of a restlessness of the mind. I feel like something was wrong, as if something later would happen." Champa annoyingly mentions Potus, "But what nonsense do you say? If the bad has already passed, do not you remember that we were literally eliminated by Zeno-Sama? Well, that without telling you that the angels preferred them, and you did not go through that damn trauma. So stop thinking of nonsense and better hurry to serve dinner. I'm starving." Potus sighs and mentions, "Well, for what you say, Mr. Champa, do not despair, please." Just before Potus continues to attend Champa, she receives a call in her center. Moving away a little to answer, but is surprised that who is calling her is Martinho. "Oh, hello, Martinho. You know, it's weird that you talk to me like that out of nowhere." Well, adding that we almost never talk. Martinho something would mention, "Yes, you yourself know that I wouldn't call you for anything trivial. In fact, I also received the same answer from our other brothers. But hey, to the point. I suppose you have also felt something unrestless since I finished the power tournament. To be more exact, just days after the tournament winner's wish was fulfilled." "Exactly, sister. This is how I have felt lately, but I can't know why." "Well, I don't know either. In fact, none of our brothers knows exactly what he feels. It seems that we angels are the only ones who feel this feeling. Neither the gods nor the mortals feel that way. I wonder if our Father will be the same as us. I also have that doubt. In fact, we could go ask him to see what he answers us. Maybe he knows what is going on." Well, for our bad luck, I have not been able to contact our father. In fact, I don't even know if he's in the palace with Zeno-Sama. So the only thing that occurs to me is that we, together with our brothers, go to Zeno-Sama's temple and find out what is going on. Meanwhile, on Earth, the celebration of the victory of Universe 7 continues. Goku and the others enjoying everything, but Whis still observes the horizon with that expression of concern. Bills, when observing the attitude of this, approaches with his arms crossed and mentions, "Come on, Whis, calm down a bit. Will you continue with that long face while everyone celebrates?" Whis would be mentioned in a serious way. "No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate, Mr. Bills, just that damned feeling doesn't come out of my head. I don't understand why." Bills just eats what he had in his hand and mentions, "Bah, you are too paranoid today. Everything is in order, and for some reason we celebrate Universe 7 for being the best. There is no reason for it to be like this and ruin the celebration." Whis, for his part, mentions, "I wish I could ignore this, but I feel something strange. It's as if something was happening and none of us realize it." Bill sighs with frustration and says, "At this rate, if you don't calm down, you will end up going crazy. But it's okay. If you really care about all this, we can go to our planet to ask the oracle fish. However, to be honest, the last time was not very helpful to say. Whis agrees to Bill's proposal, so Endos leave the party and return to Bill's planet, heading to the source where the oracle fish is usually floating. However, they find it deeply asleep. Bill's, whispering the sign, says, "Damn, this is not a good omen. Why the hell is he sleeping right now?" Bills hits the oracle fish gently with his fingers to wake him up. The oracle fish whimpers and slowly opens his eyes. "What is going on? Why did you wake me up?" The oracle fish would say with sleep, to which Bills, angry, would say, "Why did we wake you up? You were supposed to be a villain. You should have foreseen that we would come to talk to you." The oracle fish would say, "Oh, calm down, calm down. I was sleepy and I wanted to sleep a little." If I knew they would come, Bills petrifies when he hears this answer, then angrily screams, "Do you think this is a game? If you continue with those jokes, we will leave you without food for the rest of the century." The oracle fish, frightened, would beg them not to leave him without eating, likewise mentioning that he will help in whatever they want. Bills continue with his jokes, but Lewis puts a hand on his shoulder and mentions, "Mr. Bills, calm down. It's not good to scare the oracle fish, so don't exaggerate, please."
He looks at the smiling oracle fish and mentions, "You know, I've been restless lately, so haven't you had any recent premonitions or any prophecy that can explain my concern?" The oracle fish only blinks when he hears what Lewis said. Likewise, he mentions, "Well, I haven't had any premonitions lately, nothing that I remember." Bills smiles with satisfaction and crosses his arms, likewise saying, "You see, Lewis, there's nothing to worry about. It's just your imagination that has you like this." This keeps Lewis restless, but still they decide to withdraw. But before they leave, the fish mentions, "Wait, well, actually, maybe if there's something." Lewis stops and looks at it carefully, asking what it means. The fish sighs and mentions, "It's not a recent prophecy. In fact, it's so old that I almost forgot it completely. But now that you mention this to me, I remembered. Thousands of years ago, there was an addition." Bills, frowning the sign, mentions, If it's just an old story, it has nothing to do with now, so save your words." "I wouldn't be so sure, Mr. Bills. The prophecy says the following. After a great meaningless destruction, there will come a noble action that will restore everything and bring happiness to many. But in that act of redemption, something else will awaken, something buried in the shadows of time, something so terrible that it will endanger the integrity of all existence." A heavy silence is created in the environment. Lewis is serious, reflecting on the connection of all recent events. This is quite worrying. Bills, on the other hand, simply scratches his head and mentions, Sure, it's pure exaggeration of the oracle fish. If it were something really dangerous, we would have noticed it. In addition, Zeno-Sama would not let something like this happen." Lewis, on the other hand, mentions, "I'm not so sure, Mr. Bills. Maybe it will be better to go talk to my father." "That's enough, Lewis. This is too paranoid. Not even the oracle fish is sure of what he says." Saying Bills is quite annoying, but Lewis is still thoughtful and simply gives reason to Bills. Meanwhile, on Earth, although it is already night, the party continues. Although some have begun to withdraw, the atmosphere is still quite full of celebration. Goku and Vegeta are standing near the main table, both watching the night sky while they talk. Goku calmly mentions, "Well, it seems that everything will be in peace for a while, Vegeta. I even find it strange to think that there will be no more fights for now." Vegeta simply crosses his arms and mentions, "Do not trust too much, Kakaroto. Peace never lasts too long in this world. Whenever we try to relax, something ends up happening." Goku simply laughs without concern and says, "I guess you're right.
although I admit that I would like to meet some new interesting rival. Before Vegeta can respond, a flash of light flickers on the horizon. All the appliances start to fail. Radio and television lights emit distorted sounds. Everything at the party stops, and out of nowhere, the whole city falls into a blackout. Krillin, looking around worried, mentions, "Hey Bulma, what's going on? Why did everything turn off?" Bulma, annoyed, hits the monitor of her computer trying to restore everything. It cannot be. It seems that there was an electrical failure. Not even the backup batteries work. Goku and Vegeta tense instantly. A dark energy is felt in the air, quite dense and icy. Both Saiyajins put on guard, feeling the presence of someone powerful. Goku quite seriously mentions, "It seems that someone is here." Vegeta, tightening his fists, mentions, "You're right, Kakaroto. Someone came to visit us. Let's keep the guard up." A chill runs through the Warrior Z. An absolute silence takes over the place for a few seconds. Likewise, a deep and calm voice is heard from the darkness. "Wow, I thought I would find some more relaxed warriors celebrating their silly victory, but I see that they are well trained." Everyone raises their eyes. In the sky above, a figure is noticed with the light of the moon, which when noticing Goku and Vegeta, they feel quite altered. When noticing that Frieza is the one who is talking to them, his body has changed completely, having a more imposing presence. The burning ki of his body burns everyone in the place. Amazed, Goku mentions, "Frieza!" "No, Kakaroto, that's not the same Frieza we know. There is something different in him. So it's better to be careful. We do not know what intentions he has." In the celebration of the victory of the power tournament, everything is dark. Both the Z warriors like Goku and Vegeta keep the guard up to see what is happening. Everyone's surprise is great, seeing that Frieza is in the skies looking at everyone with a smile. Goku, annoyed, yells at Frieza that he is what he wants, but Vegeta mentions that they should be careful, since it seems that Frieza's intentions are not friendly at all. Frieza simply smiles arrogantly and slowly descends from the sky, landing in front of everyone. Goku and Vegeta's faces look somewhat terrified seeing the new look of this. Frieza, for his part, only laughs and mentions, "Ha, I see that they are surprised to see my new appearance. Well, after all, I have been reborn. And with that, I have acquired a much more interesting purpose that they should surely like to hear." Vegeta quickly stands in front of Frieza. Likewise, he says, "Whatever your new purpose, we all know that it will not be anything good. But if you are looking for fighting, then we will give you that." Vegeta stands guard, but Frieza only laughs and says, I have not come to fight. Or well, not yet. It's not that all the details matter. The only thing you should know is that everything you thought was stable is about to change. So there is no need to act with such hostility against me. I already told you that I do not want to fight. So what do you want? Maybe you helped us win the power tournament, but we still do not trust you." Frieza quickly mentions, "You Saiyajins, always so aggressive. But what matters, I came with an offer quite generous for you two. Since they are the strongest warriors in this universe, tell me, wouldn't it be interesting if you joined me in this new order that is about to emerge?" Vegeta, crossed arms, mentions, Do you think you would be part of your stupid army or something like that? You're crazy, Frieza, so better get out." Frieza only laughs a little and mentions, "Well, in fact, I did not expect you to accept the first. Although I want you to understand something. You have no choice." The air becomes quite dense. Goku and Vegeta look at themselves a few moments before answering. "Not even dreams, Frieza. We have enough with what happened with the power tournament. Now stop saying nonsense."
Frieza only sighs and mentions, "You are always so stubborn, right? Well then, you leave me no choice."
Without even changing his expression, he slightly raises his ki, which causes the whole earth to begin to tremble. The wind blows so hard, and the wave of power spreads everywhere, causing many structures to begin to crumble. All the Z warriors put on guard. Damn it, but what the hell is this power? Saying Picorero altered, himself nervous Gohan says, "This is too much. Are you sure this is the Frieza of our universe?" Vegeta tightens his fists with frustration before shouting to everyone, "Quick, evacuate everyone from here at once." Terror is unleashed everywhere. The party guests run terrified, while the other Z warriors rush to help them and take them to a safe place. Likewise, Frieza simply watches calmly, but smiling with satisfaction. You know, it wasn't necessary to make such a fuss. The truth is, I don't want this to end in a fight. So better calm down and accept my proposal. Goku and Vegeta shout to Frieza to stop playing games and that they will never join their silly cause. Frieza only closes his eyes for a few moments and then opens them with a great lethal breeze in them. How disappointing! Then I see that we cannot reach an agreement. Very well. Quickly, Goku and Vegeta launch into attack, these using all their forces, both precise blows and large bursts of explosive energy. However, Frieza does not even move a millimeter. Goku and Vegeta mention that it seems that they will have to go more seriously. Seeing that all the Z warriors have been evacuated, both no longer need to limit themselves. So, in a matter of seconds, Goku's hair turns silver. Vegeta elevates his power to the maximum, taking his form of Blue Saiyajin. Both launch again against Frieza, using devastating attacks, which begin to destroy the surroundings. But it seems that the result remains the same. Frieza even seems to be completely ignoring them. For the first time, both Saiyans manage to feel the terror, seeing that even with their strongest techniques, they can face an enemy. Vegeta, this is not working. We have to look for another attack method. Saying Goku's serious. Vegeta, on the other hand, quite furious, shouts, "Kakaroto, it's not time to hesitate. Fight once again." Both Saiyans begin to attack Frieza, which raises the look and disgust of boredom. Well, the truth, I expected more from you two. Without even trying, and in less than a second, Goku and Vegeta both receive a burst of attacks, and both come out shot, falling to the ground quite weak and unable to move. Frieza slowly walks towards them. Both Saiyans can only expect the worst, but Frieza only laughs and mentions, "They have nothing to worry about. I will not eliminate them yet. My new leader, they still think they can be useful, so they can breathe a little. But what nonsense do you say? Like what new leader? You are so proud that you would not even accept a leader." Saying Vegeta annoying, but Frieza only laughs and mentions, "I will not give you more details. In the same way, you will discover it over time. I'll be back soon to ask them again if they accept my request. But before I go, I'll leave you a little warning." Out of nowhere, Frieza extends a finger and shoots a burst of energy towards the horizon. In a matter of seconds, a nearby city is completely destroyed, creating a great fireball that illuminates the night completely. All the Z warriors look at the scene with horror, seeing that even Goku and Vegeta were defeated, and quite annoyed, Koro says, "That Frieza, it is a curse, how he dares to kill millions of innocents." Frieza simply lowers his hand with tranquility, also mentioning that they consider his request. After that, he disappears in a blink of an eye. The Z warriors quickly run to help both Saiyajins. Krillin quickly mentions, "Goku, Vegeta, what the hell happened to them? How did you lose so fast to Frieza? It is supposed he is not so strong." Goku and Vegeta, slowly recovering, are mentioned. It seems that something or someone made the damn Frieza change, so much so that he even wants us to ally with him. And if we do not, he will destroy the Earth. All the warriors are amazed at such a request. Likewise, Bulma quickly says, "But what nonsense are you saying? It is obvious that they will not join that maniac of Frieza. Also, if you could not against him, maybe we can ask Mr. Beast for help. Although I always hate that they end up leaving when we need them the most. It will be better to talk to them when they come back." Calm, Bulma. It is not like it is their obligation to be with us all the time. Although in the same way, I doubt he wants to help us protect the Earth. Although maybe what we can do is talk to Ulyss. Frieza mentioned that he had a leader, which made him so powerful. Illimatu Sis mentions Augustus about a silly new regime. I wonder what stupidity he is referring to now. Bulma quickly mentions, "Whatever you say, Friends, is not to take lightly. If they say he threatens to destroy the Earth, and you couldn't do anything, then I'm afraid we have to look for an alternative, an emergency plan, in case that happens." Several minutes pass. The sky is still tinny with the brightness of the destruction caused by Frizz. There is a lot of chaos in neighboring cities. Likewise, Whis and Bills appear again in what used to be the party. Bills quickly mentions, "But hey, what happened here? Where's the celebration, and what happened to the food? I didn't come to Earth just to starve." Bulma, upon seeing them, looks quite upset at them, and she mentions, "Food? Is that all you care about? Aren't you looking around? It's obvious if I keep coming to Earth, it's for the food. Besides, what's wrong with you? Why so much drama? What do you mean, why? See for yourself. Frieza was what happened. He appeared, defeated Goku and Vegeta as if they were mere rag dolls, and destroyed an entire city before leaving. Bills looks around with great indifference. Likewise, he says, "Frieza has always been problematic. Besides, if he defeated that pair of idiots, it was because he trained. It happened once. I don't know why you surprised." Bulma is stunned with that answer, while Goku, still hurt by the fight, approaches Bills and seriously mentions, "It's not that he only got better, Mr. Bills. Rather, he suffered a complete transformation. Even though Vegeta and I fought with all our strength, they weren't enough to do anything to him. Not even the Ultra Instinct worked against him." Whis, on hearing this, gets serious, while Bills still doesn't take it seriously.
Are you telling me that you couldn't even counter Frieza using the Ultra Instinct? But how pathetic you have become! It doesn't impress me. Surely you haven't trained as you should have. Vegeta says something serious.
It's not that we haven't trained, Mr. Bills, but rather, it seems that Fries suffered a mutation, which gives him unimaginable power. Bills only sits on a rock and mentions, "So Fries is stronger than I thought? But still, I don't know what's the point of you telling me this. What do you want me to do about it?" Bulma, quite furiously, shouts, "Well, we want you to protect the Earth. It's obvious that he'll come back." His threat was clear. He said that if Goku and Vegeta didn't agree to join him, he would end up destroying the Earth. Bills sarcastically mentions, "And if you better tell him yes, so you don't worry about the Earth, and so I don't have to work anymore." All this causes a stir. Bulma and Bills begin to argue, but Whis raises his hand and calms the situation. This calm tone mentions, "I understand everyone's concern, and more your concern, Mrs. Bulma, but we still can't determine if Fries represents a danger at all." Vegeta quickly interrupts and mentions, "Well, it seems that it's not just Fries we should worry about. This I speak about a new leader, which seems to be behind all this." Whis, listening to this, gets a little serious, so he mentions, "I already see a good point. Apparently, our tranquility after the power tournament won't last long. I wonder if all this will have to do with the restlessness I've felt lately." While he thinks and talks with Goku and Vegeta, Bulma continues to try to convince Bills. She begs Bills, mentioning that they have to do something to stop Fries, or else they will be destroyed. Bills simply mentions, "I don't care about the problems of the Earth. I'll only intervene if it's really necessary." Bulma quickly mentions, "You don't have to be so mean to us, Mr. Bills. If you help us, I promise I'll give you all the food you want, even dishes you haven't tried yet." Bills, raising an eyebrow, letting his interest be noticed, mentions, "I understand. Well, to be honest, that sounds more convincing. Maybe, and only maybe, if things get difficult, I'll take care of Fries. But it's only a maybe. Don't get too excited." Whis sighs and mentions, "You can do whatever you like, Mr. Bills. I, for my part, will be present when Fries returns. I want to analyze the situation well." Likewise, Goku and Vegeta exchange glances, and determined they mention that in what he is on Earth, they will train with him. To which Whis smiles and mentions, "Very well, we will train right here on Earth. In that way, if Fries returns, we can respond immediately." Bill stretches and whispering mentions, "Well, I guess this will be a long wait, so it's better that in my stay here, have delicious food. That will accelerate my decision on whether to protect the Earth or not." Bulma sighs deeply, but she is still worried. Likewise, Whis begins to prepare the start of training for Goku and Vegeta. Meanwhile, in the temple of Zeno-Sama, Grand Priest keeps thinking, carefully observing the structure of the multiverse. He is quite concentrated. With a gesture of his hand, checks the universes in search of irregularities, but everything seems to be in order. Zeno-Sama approaches him and calmly asks, "Grand Priest, tell me, did you find what you are looking for so much? You have been observing the universes for a long time, and you begin to worry me." Grand Priest does not turn away from the sight of the universes. Likewise, calmly responds, "No, Zeno-Sama. For my bad luck, so far I have not found anything out of the ordinary." Zeno-Sama just smiles and turns his arms cheerfully, mentioning, "You see, Grand Priest, there is nothing to worry about. Everything is fine." But Grand Priest does not pay much attention to Zeno-Sama. He remains silent for a moment, still analyzing. Zeno-Sama watches him carefully, likewise saying, "Hey, Grand Priest, lately you have been working a lot. Do not you think you should take a little break?" Grand Priest reacts with an expression would be, mentioning, "I appreciate your concern, Zeno-Sama, but even so, I feel that something is not quite right, so that's why I investigate the universes." Zeno-Sama, for his part, just looks to the sides and mentions,
Well, I don't understand your concern, Grand Priest. I really don't feel anything strange. Before Grand Priest can respond, a communication signal interrupts his process. This something annoyed sighs and responds to the call in the communication crystal. In this, Beerus and Martin appear, which are somewhat concerned. Bardock, making a slight reference, mentions, "Oh Father, in advance we apologize for the interruption. We didn't want to bother you while you work, but what we have to tell you is something important, so listen to us please." Grand Priest sighs and mentions, "The truth doesn't matter, don't worry about that, but please explain quickly the reason for your call, that if I find something busy." Martin seriously mentions, "You know, for a long time I have felt a deep concern, something I cannot understand. I also felt that way. In fact, Martin mentioned that he is kept in contact with our other brothers, and the answer he receives from everyone is that they also feel that way, and no one knows why that feeling." Grand Priest remains silent for a few seconds, analyzing everything they say, then his expression changes and mentions, "And exactly when did they start to feel that way?" Both angels mention that it all started immediately after the power tournament ended. Grand Priest's gaze becomes more serious, so Nisoest responds, "I understand. And well, do you have anything else to tell me?" Martinu quickly says, "Yes, in fact, the strangest thing about all this is that it seems that neither the destructive gods nor the mortals can feel it. I would wait for a Zeno-Sama if he manages to feel that strange variation in the multiverse and find out what is happening. For the moment, that is not important. I will investigate more thoroughly. You don't worry for the moment." Martinu and Bardock stay talking a little with Grand Priest, which, noticing the strange situation, decides to call a meeting with the other angels as soon as possible.
They gather their other brothers. I want them to come to the temple as soon as possible. Vero and Martinu accept the order, saying that they will get going, also cutting the communication, while Grand Priest continues to concentrate. Zeno-Sama, who was watching from afar, approaches and mentions, "Grand Priest, what is happening? Because out of nowhere you feel more strange." Grand Priest simply turns to see Zeno-Sama. With a slight smile he mentions, "Do not worry, Zeno-Sama. Everything is under control. Whatever happens, I will take care of solving it." Zeno-Sama looks at Grand Priest without being convinced of what he says. He also withdraws, but now he looks worried about Grand Priest, while the Great Priest continues to look at the multiverse in search of anomalies. While all this happens, Frieza returns to the Dark Sanctuary, where the mysterious being rests on his throne. Despite his new strength, Frieza feels the great amount of energy, which even affects the large number of warriors from different planets, which, despite being afraid, advance with Frieza, who mentions, "My mission has been a success. I have gathered warriors from different worlds, the strongest I could find." The mysterious being, looking with his eyes closed, lets out a low laugh, but this resonates throughout the environment in a terrifying echo. "You have done a great job, Frieza." The mysterious being slowly stands up. His presence absorbs all the dim light of the place. Likewise, the aura of his power creating shockwaves that shake the present warriors. "Welcome to what will be the new regime. You, all of you, will be part of something great." The warriors exchange looks and murmur among themselves. Some smile excited, while others feel a chill run through their bodies. But in an instant, everything changes. From the darkness, a gigantic hand emerges at an impossible speed. Before anyone can react, several warriors are taken in an eye, opening and closing. You can only hear the sound of the warriors screaming that what is happening, also begging to be released. But the voices disappear, and all you can hear is a very loud roar, accompanied by sounds of flesh being torn, bones fracturing, and viscera splattering everywhere. The remaining warriors hear terrified, and in a matter of seconds, the panic explodes throughout the place. A great hand comes out of the darkness and takes several warriors. The others only fear the darkness. The warriors who are held scream and beg to be released. But seconds later, the screams are muted, and all you hear is the crunch of bones and viscera falling to the floor. Something that terrifies all the warriors present, which, in panic, try to escape. One by one, the recruits try to escape in all directions, but this is useless. Several hands are emerging from the darkness, crushing and killing each of the warriors.
Little by little, the place is silent, and all you hear is the chewing of the mysterious being. Freezer, although he tries to stay firm, I did not expect to see such a horrible scene. This crossed arm looks at the mysterious being and mentions, "But why? Why the hell did you do that? Do you know how long it took me to find warriors that were not even worth it? At this step, you will not advance anything in what you want to do." The mysterious being slowly rises from his throne. Himself with indifference, he mentions, "All the warriors you brought me, not even worth it. I could notice how too weak they were. So for the only thing they served, it was to make food." Freezer frustratedly sighs and mentions, "I understand. So what exactly do you want? It's not like there are many options in the universe, you know?" The mysterious being opens his eyes slowly. Likewise, his voice resonates throughout the place. "I already told you. Go look again. But this time, bring me real warriors. If you don't want to end up like them, it's better if you obey." Freezer only observes how the whole place was, full of remains of the warriors he had brought. He tightens his fists, knowing he has no choice but to obey. So without looking back, he disappears in a second, leaving behind all the disorder that caused the mysterious being, which again closes his eyes to rest a little. Meanwhile, on Earth the sky looks cloudy and the whole place is charged with energy. Goku and Vegeta are in the center of a rocky terrain, training intensely. Both Saiyajins exchange blows which make the surroundings tremble with each impact. Both use all their speed and strength, using attacks that if it were not for a field of force that they made, the Earth would have already been destroyed. Likewise, several Z warriors perform exercises of ki and combat practices under the orders of Bills, which is sitting comfortably on a blanket while eating large amounts of food. He barely limits himself to giving brief indications between bite and bite. Bulma, on the other hand, observes closely with a big, annoying face. Bills gives a big bite to his food and mentions, "Come on guys, you can't let the hunger take away your concentration. Keep moving or you won't eat anything today." Likewise, he looks at Bulma and mentions, "What? Don't you like me to take advantage of this break while the training of the others continues?" Bulma, on the other hand, mentions, "I don't understand how I'm eating. You can train the others. Although this doesn't seem like a training, if you don't do well, it's as if the others did calisthenics compared to Goku and Vegeta." In a calm way, he mentions, "Training is training. In addition, I will not stop enjoying my food. First, let them show what their limit is, and then I'll see what training I can give them. They should feel honored, since a god of destruction takes the trouble to supervise their training." Bulma only looks at Bills quite annoying. Likewise, the Z warriors continue with their basic training, while Goku and Vegeta continue training with all their forces within the field of force of Bills, which is only observes in a thoughtful way, mentioning himself, "I wonder if really the new force of Freezer will be something to worry about. Will it have to do with that strange feeling? The truth? I doubt it. I just hope this is not just the beginning of something worse." After a while of training, Bulma calls everyone to gather to eat. Likewise, all the warriors sit down and start to eat in a hurry to recover energy. But despite the fact that the moment is of joy, to Whis, he feels a great concern. But Bills quickly mentions, "Come on, Whis, leave that stupid fear aside and get to eat. You will see that you have nothing to worry about. Also, when Freezer returns, and if these useless do not manage to do something, we will take care of him. So stop complaining and eat something." Goku would be mentioned in a serious way.
"You know, Mr. Bills, in part, I understand Whis. It is rare that even the Ultra Instinct would serve against Freezer, being that it was what helped me fight Jiren." Vegeta only seconds Goku, saying, "I hate to admit it, but Kakaroto is not wrong. The power he has, you cannot underestimate just like that, Mr. Bills. I would hope that with this training, we will achieve something before he returns." Bulma, for his part, intervenes and mentions, "I do not understand. It is because he is so insistent on wanting to recruit them. Do not you think there is something behind this stupid recruitment?" Bills simply shrugs his shoulders without much interest. Likewise, this says, "Well, Bulma, it's not like we should question everything that happens. The truth, what I think, is that if you have to fight, let them fight then." I would prefer that they choose to negotiate, and thus avoid moving a finger, but you insist on wanting to fight, so I do not care much. I will only enjoy until the time comes to take some necessary action. Bills and Bulma begin to argue, but Whis quickly mentions, well, we do not know if this new freezer turns out to be much more powerful than we imagine. We cannot assume that our current preparation is enough. Goku smiles at Whis and mentions, listen to me, Whis. We know what we are capable of. We have overcome limits over and over again. Surely this fight will be resolved soon. Vegeta, for his part, mentions, in any case, we have to protect the Earth. So no matter how hard the training is, we will not back down, Whis. While they argue, Bulma sighs, likewise, thinking about what could be the fruit of the Earth, flooding in thoughts because Freezer insistently wants to have Goku and Vegeta on his side. And so that his thoughts are interrupted by the noises of Bills, which he mentions, well, enough already. Stop being worried, and better come on. You have to regain strength. When the time comes, we will see if Freezer is really a threat, or you are simply exaggerating. I already told you that I will take care if you are in trouble, as long as they stop being dramatic. Bulma and the others relax a little to hear that they will have the support of the God of Destruction. Likewise, they finish eating and prepare to resume their training. Goku and Vegeta are walking next to Whis, which stops and raises his scepter to receive a transmission. This, when answering, manages to see Grand Priest, which he quickly mentions, Whis, I need you to interrupt what you are doing. I need you to come to an emergency meeting at the temple of Zeno-Sama, so don't be late, please. Whis, a little serious, mentions, understood, Father. Mr. Goku, Mr. Vegeta, I apologize, but I have to attend this call, so for the moment, I ask you to train on your own. Well, Mr. Bills, I will take care of everything for the moment. I trust you will keep the order. Bills, scratching his ear and raising an eyebrow, mentions, of course, Whis, you better than anyone knows that I always have everything under control, so go ahead, Holokids, get to training. Goku and Vegeta listen and move away a little to train again. Likewise, Whis teleports to the temple of Zeno-Sama. Upon reaching this, Whis realizes that all his brothers are gathered. Likewise, Grand Priest is in the center. This quickly mentions, very well, my children. Since you are all here, let's talk about what has happened in these times. It seems that just like me, you have also felt a persistent concern. More exactly, when I finished the power tournament. Quickly, Bardock raises his hand and mentions, maybe it's not important, but I have felt a change in the flow of the universes. As you say, Father, a kind of anomaly which seems to have appeared out of nowhere. Martine quickly says, well, just like some of my brothers present, we have also felt something horrible. A feeling which, no matter how much time passes, it does not go away. I have also perceived that strange feeling, and it seems that on the planet from which our competitors of the power tournament come, some events and problems have arrived. Not to mention that the Oracle Fish mentioned a prophecy from a long time ago, which speaks of what would happen destruction and chaos. Quickly, Grand Priest raises his hand to silence the discussion momentarily. This directly mentions, well, since you are my children, they also feel that something is wrong. I think we should be more rigorous with surveillance. I want you to review your universes in search of any possible alteration. So any anomaly they find, no matter how minimal it is, I want you to let me know. Mojito, in a tired way, says, you know, Father, I do not understand why you take this too seriously. I think Zeno-Sama should take care of this. After all, it is his job. Konak, for his part, mentions, this time I support Mojito. The truth, I do not feel like going around in the universes. We had enough with the power tournament. In addition, enough also to have to take care of the gods of destruction. Grand Priest quickly looks annoyed to both angels. I must remind you that our responsibility is to watch the universes and take care of any threat that may cause damage to the balance of these. So leave the game and better do what I tell you. The meeting is prolonged for a long time. Likewise, the angels saying that they will keep their eyes open for any problem that may happen. After a while, Grand Priest ends the meeting. Very well, my children. I have nothing more to say. Just be attentive to anything that represents a universal problem. Agreed?
While all the angels affirm and begin to withdraw, Whis stays in the temple, approaching Grand Priest to mention a few things. Father, after what we talked about, and what I told you, should not we take the predictions of the oracle fish more seriously? It is never known what may happen. Grand Priest only sighs and mentions, Whis, my son, you should not take the words of the oracle fish so literally. I must remind you that he always tends to fail in his predictions. I even start to think that the only thing he supposedly sees are his crazy dreams or hallucinations. When you find something that is really of interest, let me know, please. Whis remains firm and mentions that they should not take that prediction lightly, mentioning that the oracle fish is not a fraud. But Grand Priest remains firm in what he said, saying that he does not care about the oracle fish and that he better dedicate himself to watching his universe. Whis, for his part, a little depressed, mentions that he will do it. But before he can leave, Zeno-Sama arrives and mentions, Oh, Whis, how good it is to see you here. Tell me something. How is Goku lately? Whis looks at Zeno-Sama and smiling mentions, Zeno-Sama, it is an honor to see him. And, well, regarding Mr. Goku, he is very well. He is training as always to become stronger. Zeno-Sama, when hears it, is happy and begins to talk to Whis, distracting him for a long time. Meanwhile, in the dark dimension, Frieza arrives again at the Temple of the Mysterious Being.
Likewise, in front of this, there is a large group of warriors who kneel, trembling with respect and fear. Frieza smiles with satisfaction and mentions, This time I have not failed you. I managed to bring together the best warriors of a new galaxy that I discovered. They are the most ruthless and brutal. I even took the trouble to put them to the test. So this time, I doubt you have any complaints. Frieza does not even receive an answer. He only hears a deep rumble that causes the whole place to tumble. Again, hands emerge from the darkness, while the warriors get up and try to escape terrified. But every attempt is useless. Several hands catch the recruited warriors, and only the sound of their screams is heard everywhere. Frieza, on the other hand, with difficulty, manages to dodge one of the hands that almost catches him. This, quite annoying, mentions, It cannot be. Again, you get me with this. What are we supposed to be playing? The screams of the warriors are drowned out quickly by a nauseating sound. Being mysterious gives you a feeling with the meat of these. So mysterious, you only see the bodies twisting while they are devoured. In a matter of seconds, what used to be an imposing army is reduced to simple food. Frieza is quite annoying and the disaster threatens. You couldn't wait before doing this? Every time I bring you warriors, I begin to feel that more than an army recruiter, I am more your food supplier. Before Frieza's complaint continues, his gaze shifts to the sides of the place. Between the rubble of meat and those destroyed, two figures remain intact. These are in a defensive pose, but with excited smiles. Wow, that was pretty fun. It's a shame that our other teammates couldn't stand the action. The truth, I would have preferred a more difficult challenge than just dodging, but it was fun anyway. Frieza, confused when he sees both warriors still alive, he watches them with distrust. He himself mentions, How is it possible that these two are still alive? I thought no one would have survived. The mysterious being looking at both warriors laughs in a gloomy way. He also mentions that it seems that these two warriors are worthy of receiving some power. So, without prior notice, a dark energy begins to flood the bodies of both warriors, which scream in pain,
feeling an experience almost close to death. Their bodies, little by little, absorb the given power. Damn, that was quite painful, but at the same time, equally intense. Despite being an almost unbearable pain, now I feel great power throughout my body. I feel that I am able to do whatever it is. Both fall on their knees with their new bodies wrapped in the dark flash. The mysterious being observes and himself addresses them by mentioning, "Now you will be my executors. Your first mission is to use layers of adherence to the universes governed by the King of Everything. So go, cause and destruction." Both warriors make a reverence and disappear in a flash of dark energy. Likewise, Frieza mentions something annoying. "Why do you only send me to recruit, while you sent those two to destroy? That's what I do better. You should send me to cause chaos." The mysterious being simply laughs with indifference, sitting again on his throne and mentioning, "Frieza, your time will come, but for now, keep looking for the warriors. That we are very attached to the attack on the universes." Frieza tightens his fists, irritated by simply being a seeker. But in the end, he only sighs and mentions that he will continue in his search, likewise disappearing in a flash of energy. In his trip this is mentioned, "I think it's time to visit the Earth again. I already gave them enough time to those Saiyajin to consider a bear to us. Likewise, if they reject the offer, I will take away the stress by eliminating them and their stupid planet." Meanwhile, on Earth, the sun little by little goes hiding. The Z warriors continue with their training. Although this is not too heavy, none of them dares to complain of fear of Bills, which, still comfortable, sitting in a huge chair with a lot of food in front of him, he does not even pay attention to the Z warriors, for looking at all the food in his hands, the Z warriors, somewhat frustrated, talk to each other. Krillin, although somewhat sweaty, mentions Piccolo. "Hey Piccolo, do you think this is training? I don't know if it helps us to run in circles or lift rocks." Piccolo, on the other hand, annoying, says, "The truth, this is better than nothing. Also, sure, if we complain, Mr. Bills would finish us eliminating." Gonan joins the conversation and mentions, "The truth, I would prefer that Mr. Lewis was here. Sure, he would give us a better training." While they are still training, Bulma approaches Bills. This annoyance mentions, "For love of all good, is that you do not plan to do anything more than just eat?" Bills, without even paying much attention, continues eating and mentions, "And why would I have to do anything else? Are you already training? No?" Bulma sarcastically mentions, "Yes, of course, training, if that can be called training." Bills just eats a little more and mentions, "Whatever it is not my duty. My duty is only to destroy when necessary. Now leave me alone." This continues to swallow, but Bulma, angry, mentions that in the process, his brother Champa will end up appearing. Bills freezes and stops chewing. He also, annoying, mentions, "Do not compare me with that damned careless glutton. He and I do not look like anything." Bulma sarcastically mentions, "But if you only spend it eating and letting others do the work, what would they differ then?" Bills hits the table with one hand, causing all the food to fall apart, drawing the attention of some warriors. This angry says to Bulma, Listen to me well, daring woman. No matter how much you eat, I still being elegant and strong. I am the god of the most disciplined destruction. I do not even look like anything to the lazy glutton of Champa. Bulma only laughs and continues arguing with Bills while the Z-Warriors watch the discussion. Krillin quickly whispers to Gohan, "Hey, do you think we should stop them? I don't think it's a good idea for Bulma to make Mr. Bills angry." Gohan, for his part, somewhat nervous, says, "You know, I don't know if it's a good idea to get into a fight between them. Also, they always fight like this." This is the end. I say goodbye with a Kamehameha. Goodbye.